Melanie Halkitas, how are
Hey,
you today?
I'm delicious. How are you, President?
I'm great. I'm great.
Good,
You're
thank you.
delicious? What does that mean?
Good to see you.
I'll tell you later, Father P.
Please explain.
Yeah, are you behaving yourself?
No.
I didn't think so. That's a $5 fine.
Oh my. Oh my. Well, from you, I'll
Yeah,
take that.
yes, speakers here. Let's behave.
Then he'd wonder if he's in the wrong meeting if we behave too well.
That's true.
We have to let him know that we are real Rotarians, right, Ruben?
Yeah. Yeah.
Folks, it's now 7 a.m. Let us call this meeting to order. Morning, everyone. Maybe now have the invocation by Rotarian. Ruben, please.
Yeah. Good morning, fellow Rotarians. Good morning, President. Good morning, guests. May we take the Rotary grace? Oh Lord, giver of all good, we thank you for our daily bread. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all our days. And everyone say amen.
Thank you, Rotarian Ruben.
Amen.
Amen. The loyal toast, Rotarian Marsha.
To the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
To the Commonwealth of the
To
Bahamas.
the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Welcome our visiting Rotarians. Secretary Donner.
Thank you so much, President Francis. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Sunrise meeting. And I'd like to start off by welcoming our visiting Rotarians. We have PP Valerie Dean, who feels like one of us by now. We're always delighted to have you at our meetings in the Rotary Club of Abaco. We have PP Adetun, all the way from Nigeria. And she also feels like one of us now, a consistent visitor to our meeting. Welcome, PP Adetun.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good to have you.
Welcome to our special guest, Rotarian in waiting or ex-Rotarian or soon to be rejoined, Karen Butler. Welcome, Karen. You've been with us consistently. I hope you're ready to jump back in. Welcome and good morning. Welcome to Simone Bull. And Simone has been visiting for a while now, former guest speaker, and now a consistent attendee at our meetings. We're delighted that you took the time to get up this early and to be part of our meeting. I want to welcome President Alicia from the Rotary Club of St. Martin, who is just tuning in. Welcome. I also see iPad 2. iPad 2 looks like a visiting Rotarian. I'll give her an opportunity to introduce herself and Rotary Club.
Yes, thank you, my president and my fellow Rotarians. My name is Babalola Tilegiado. I'm from the Rotary Club of Ikoyi.
Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. Do we see her face?
And I believe you have visited with us before.
Yes. I have visited with you about 3 times now.
Right. I think you signed in with an unidentified instrument device. It said iPad 2, so I missed that for a while. Okay,
and I even enjoyed the production the other day.
Oh, yes, Jamaica Farewell. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's see who else. We have Liquidus. I don't know who Liquidus is, but it seems to be a guest. Want to welcome you to our meeting and
Hey.
hope that.
Good morning. It's sorry, this is Matt Hinckley. This is actually just my work account that I'm on.
Oh, welcome, Matt. I hope the Sarge heard that. Okay, and I think that covers.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that. But the work account.
It's
that I
Matt
need to
Hinckley.
find.
Matthew
Huh?
Hinckley.
It's Matt Hinckley, or Rotarian Matt, using a name Liquidus. Welcome.
Okay.
And also, I think our guest speaker just joined our meeting, and he will be officially welcomed and introduced later, but I want to extend a very special welcome to our guest speaker. Let me make sure I get the title correct. It's IPPRIVP Babalola. Did I get that correct? I do not.
Babalola.
Babalola.
Yes.
Okay.
Lola.
Welcome, sir. We're delighted to have you, and we're really excited to hear what you have to share with us this morning. As you know, we have a very special connection with the continent, and we have other persons here who are from Nigeria. So you're surrounded by friends and family. We look forward to hearing from you. And so with that said, I think I've introduced all and welcome all our visitors and those who may have joined. I'm still scanning, but welcome. If I missed you, my apology. I'm not seeing names. So welcome to our meeting, and we hope you enjoy. And just before I hand over to the president, I just want to thank everyone who reached out to me, called, prayed for me while I went through my surgery. And it's great to be back. Brand new, refurbished, and ready to go. And I thank you for your thoughts and your prayers as that helped in my recovery, which is going quite well. Thank you so much. And a special thank you to Director Akima that acted as secretary during my 2-week absence. Thank you so much. Back to you, President.
Thank you, Secretary Donette. And I wish to say welcome again to all of our guests. We are delighted to have you join us this morning. And now we will ask our Sergeant at Arms, Rotarian James, to bring us the fines and jokes.
Hello, Madam President. You did give a special welcome back to Donette, did you? Did you, Madam President?
I did. As a matter of fact, I spoke with her every day while she was away.
And you welcomed her back to the meeting this morning.
Yes,
I didn't remember if you did. She did?
Yes.
Okay. But she's usually a good manners.
Well, only she and I came on first.
You did before the official start of the meeting, so that don't count.
Oh.
That's right. Madam President, you could do it now in the hearing of all of the faithful. And then give me $5 for omitting it. Okay?
Welcome back again, Secretary Donette.
Thank you, President.
And we thank you for being in touch with her all the time. You're extraordinary president in that respect because you really look after your people. Thank you. Kema acted. Thank you very much. Now that you don't have that added responsibility, give us $3 for that, please.
Say thank you to Akima for filling in during the 2 weeks that our secretary was away.
The chairperson
Thank you.
of literacy? Is she there?
Not yet.
Not yet. But all those who are late, please find them as they come in.
I have taken note, Mr. Sergeant.
You have taken note. Okay. Melanie, you said you were delicious. What was that supposed to mean? Is Melanie there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Melanie, you said you were delicious. You wish to explain, or that has to be done off camera?
Oh, just think about it, Father. No, it doesn't. No, I don't need to explain, no. Just a comment.
Oh, okay, just $5 then.
Okay.
Give us a delicious $5. All those without pins.
I was just giving you something to find me about.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. Okay. And who had that little pretty 5-month-old baby? Oh my, so gorgeous. $5, please.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy seeing an extension of Rotary like that, but we still have to charge you. You know, that's a bundle of joy, and we thank God for that. All the men, give us $5 today, please. All the men. The women have a 1 week to save, because we're going to charge the women $10 next week. How do women feel about that?
Why?
Why? Who's that challenging me?
Only one person. You try that.
Anyway, we'll find only the men today, and we'll find the women equally next week. We don't have the chairperson of literacy on, but literacy, of course, goes with phonics. And I don't know how many of you have heard the story. English is a funny language, of course. Oh, Ruben, I have to charge you for your being a compatriot of our guest speaker. Please give us $5 for that. I'm sure you're so proud, aren't you?
But you know the economy is bad now. Prime Minister is locking down and there's no money anywhere. So I don't know why you're charging $5. It should be $2.
Okay. Ordinarily, it'll be 15. You still got a break.
You need to give me discounts. Give me discounts.
Yeah, and you're still teaching, right? So that has nothing to do with your economy. But anyway, we ain't going to. That's $5. Quickly, write it up, Madam Treasurer. As I said, it's amazing how English language is a funny language, in that some things are pronounced one way in a particular sentence, or on a particular word in another way. The story is told of this farmer, this hunter, who went into the bushes with his colleagues, and he realized that he left his gun. So he tried to call, on one of those country phones. I think it was in Jamaica, Donette. One of those country phones that you had to ring so many rings, and the reception was never really good. No cell phones in those days. So he said, "Honey, I left my gun." So his wife said, "I can't hear you." He said, "I left my gun. My gun." So she said, "I still can't hear you." So he said, "I will spell it for you. I will spell gun for you." He said, G as in Jesus, U as in Europe, N as in pneumonia. G-U-N, gun. That's one for Literacy Month. Bless you all.
I think the president should fine you.
Yes.
Should find me?
20.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I do agree.
Yep. Blessings to you all.
Thank you, Father P.
Okay.
And now we'll have birthdays and anniversaries. Announcements by past President Diana Lynn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You see how big that is? That was over the very high.
Diana is muted.
Yeah, I said Kemi Jones's birthday is on Kemi Jones is Saturday.
For some reason, we cannot hear you very clearly.
Donna, please mute Eric.
Donette, you may need to mute some mics, please. Past President, would you like to make that announcement again?
Yes, I'm trying to say that Kemi Jones's birthday is on tomorrow, Friday, sorry. Kemi Jones's birthday
is
celebrated tomorrow, the 9th. That's the birthday announcement.
All right, thank you, Past President Diana Lynn, and happy birthday to Kemi. Is Kemi online with us this morning?
No, he's not on yet.
All right. We'll move now to announcements.
My wife's birthday is Sunday. My wife's birthday is Sunday. I'll give $1 for her birthday. How about that?
Oh my God, $1 is too
cheap.
No,
I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her.
I'm gonna tell her.
He would like to have the true amount for her birthday, please.
Wow. I opened my mouth.
You agree? Would you like to give us that, the true amount?
How could I say otherwise? She's worth it.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Well, Alex Ward will be celebrating on Monday.
Who's celebrating?
Happy birthday to Alan. Happy birthday to Angela Palacios.
Alex Ward.
Oh, Alex.
Alex on the 12th.
Yeah, my wife is on Monday.
Yes. Is Alex with us this morning?
I don't know if we could go to church.
Happy birthday, Alex.
No, he's not.
Monday. Monday.
No, okay, all right. I'll send him a special happy birthday greeting. No, he can't go to church. Are there any other announcements?
Not from me.
I see Karen Major is about to enter the room.
Karen, make sure you charge Karen.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Director Karen.
Good morning.
Make sure you charge Karen an extra $10.
Sorry, Francis, I couldn't hear what you were asking me.
If you have announcements.
That's $10 fine, please. This is very late.
Would you like to make an announcement this morning?
Yeah, the only announcement that I have is that we're going to be making a presentation today to World Patent Preschool for a check for software for the autistic class, some PPE items, and tablets provided on behalf of Fidelity Bank. If anybody wants to come out and support, they can. It's 12 p.m. at World Patent today.
Does that complete your announcement, Director Karen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I wish to thank all of the members who have agreed to donate $300 in support of RCOB's initiatives to join with the Ministry of Education and Cable Bahamas to ensure that students who do not have cable service at this time, that they receive cable service in order to continue their education. This is a very, very important initiative, and I really, really want to say thank you to all of those Rotarians who have stepped up and agreed to pay the $300. So those 10 persons, you know who you are. Thank you very much. Just another quick reminder concerning the upcoming elections. Just want to remind everyone that this is nomination time for President-elect 2022 and 23, along with all other positions. Elections will be held for those posts on October the 29th. So we're asking you and reminding you at this time to please submit your nominations to PhD Mario and Secretary Donette. Thank you. There being no other announcements, we'll now invite PDG Felix to introduce our guest speaker, who will speak today on the topic, Africa Polio Free. Thank you, PDG Felix.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, family of Rotary. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Olayinka Babalola. He is an engineer, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of Nigerian Institute of Safety Professionals, and a member of the International Association of Change Management Practitioners. He's a safety manager systems auditor. He worked for Shell Oil in various senior positions, retiring after 24 years to pursue his other interests. He is the lead coach and facilitator at Lead and Change Consulting, an executive leadership coaching organization, performance and behavior transformation advisory group. He chairs the board of Riviera Technical Services Limited, an oil and gas infrastructure delivery outfit. Olayinka started his Rotary journey as a Rotaractor in 1983. A Rotarian since 1993, Olayinka is a member of the Rotary Club of Trans Amadi, Port Harcourt District 9141, Nigeria. As club president in 2002-2003, he won the Rotary International Global Quest Award for the highest percentage net membership gain worldwide, and was recognized on stage at the Brisbane Convention. The club, with a sustained growth, now has a membership of 85 and is the biggest in the district. Olayinka has served Rotary as governor, raising over $1 million for the Rotary Foundation from an area normally considered as disadvantaged, and growing membership by net gain of over 650. The District 9140, under his leadership, emerged one of the top 3 performing districts in the world, and was so recognized at the Bangkok Convention. The membership growth he inspired has not only endured, it laid the foundation for the split of the district into 2 effective July 1, 2017. He's the director of the Safe Blood Africa Project, a multi-district Rotary initiative with a mission to improve the safety and expand the availability of blood in hospitals throughout Nigeria at the first instance and the rest of Africa. He is a faculty member and a foundation registrar of the Nigerian division of the Rotary Leadership Institute. He served as assistant Rotary coordinator and Polio zone coordinator, the Rotary International Reach Out to Africa Water and Sanitation coordinator, member of the Sao Paulo 2015 International Convention Promotion Committee, Nigeria National Polio Plus Committee, Regional Rotary Foundation coordinator and endowment major gift advisor. He served as International Assembly Training Leader, GETS Training Leader, that's Governor's-elect Training Session Training Leader, and Rotary International President's personal representative at district conferences. He served on the board of Rotary International as director for the years 2018-2020, and as vice president of Rotary International for 2019-2020. He was a member of the Elevate Rotaract Task Force to help the board operationalize the 2019 Council on Legislation enactment on Rotaract. He is currently a vice chair of the Rotary Foundation and Polio Now Countdown Committee, member of the Peace Major Gift Initiative and RI Membership Committee. He is a recipient of the Rotary Service Above Self, the highest recognition that can be given to a Rotarian by Rotary International. Other Rotary International recognitions include the 4 Avenues of Service Citation, Club Builder Award, Regional Polio Service Award, and the Rotary Foundation Citation for Meritorious Service. Yinka is an Arch Clump Society member and a Rotary Foundation benefactor. He has attended several Rotary seminars and conferences, zone and international institutes, and over 20 international conventions. Yinka's spouse, Percy, is an attorney, a member of the Rotary Club of Fort Harcourt East, and the union is blessed with children. Rotarians, please help me introduce or welcome immediate past Rotary International Vice President, Inka Babalola.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DG Felix. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes.
And thank you, Rotarian President, for inviting me to this session. I think this is a very great time for Rotary internationally, a very proud moment for Rotary in Africa. And I think even for us as Rotarians also, this is a great milestone towards our polio eradication effort. Many of you will recall that we made a promise to the children of the world that we shall give them a polio-free world. And the Africa certification milestone is a great milestone towards achieving that promise. Now, I say to my African colleagues that let them remember that our promise to the world wasn't to make Africa polio-free, but to make the world polio-free. So while we celebrate the certification of Africa, let's take it as what it is, a significant milestone, and that a bigger celebration is coming forward. Rotarian President, you don't worry about all the acronyms of IPPRIVP. Don't mind all of that. Just so long as you remember that the name is Yinka, that is fine. So good morning to you all. It's afternoon in Nigeria, and if you allow me to share my slide, I will share a few slides with you. And I think the host has disabled me at this time. If I'm enabled, I can quickly share a few slides as we talk through all of this. So what I intend to do is show you what has happened, show you how we got there, and share with you what is left for us to do. Yes, so Africa is polio-free. That is the news, that announcement we all know about. But you see, as I was preparing for this meeting, I came across this slide I had used a few years back. And I thought it's appropriate, now that we're celebrating, to refer to this. I called it the magic, the miracle called End Polio Now. And I call it magic and miracle so that Rotarians can understand exactly what we have done. You know, when in 1985, 83, 85, we made that proposal of eradicating polio in the world, and we went to UNICEF, WHO, and the rest, the first set of questions was, who are you guys? Are you guys medical practitioners? We said no. Are you epidemiologists? We said no. So who the heck are you guys? We said we are Rotarians, and you want to eradicate a disease, the second disease to be so eradicated in the world. You guys must be crazy. Actually, they were right. We were actually crazy. And they said, if you guys are serious, go bring 120 million US dollars, and we can start from there. And to show them we're serious, we gave them 240. Now, those who thought we were crazy in 1985, we can see that our craze is a positive one. And I think Rotarians need to understand that what we're talking about here is something significant. Let me give you the context before I go into some of the other hard stuff. Is that when we say Africa is polio free, what we've said is that in the last 4 years, no single child, not one child, had been crippled by white polio on the African continent. Not one. Considering the fact that in Nigeria alone, we're having about 1,100 cases. Considering the fact that when we started in the world, we were losing 1,000 people per day. We were having 1,000 cases, but many of them resulting in death and paralysis. Then we suddenly got to a point where in a continent of 1 billion people, for 4 years, not a single child got crippled. So put that in context. We normally say Nigeria is polio free because Nigeria was the country that was still endemic in Africa, which prevented the certification. So that Nigeria made it meant Africa made it. So Nigeria is polio free. We say thank you, Rotary. Thank you, Rotary. Thank you to the Rotarians who were part of it. The Africa region is certified wide polio free. Goodbye, polio. Again, thank you, Rotary. Thank you to Rotarians who have been part of this. How you know? This image from this mother, she's saying, thanks to you, thanks to Rotary, I got polio, but my baby is safe. I got polio, but my baby is safe. What were the things that we did? There was a lot of advocacy. In fact, the whole campaign for Africa started with what we call the Keep Polio Out of Africa campaign that was led by Nelson Mandela of blessed memory. And because Africa loved soccer, soccer was what was wrapped around it. In fact, I think it was an African Cup of Nations that was in I think Johannesburg or somewhere, I can't remember the exact one, you know. And yes, that was how the campaign started, what led to today. And just for the history, on a general note, this was where we started. All the reds shows a country that were polio endemic in 1985. In 1985. And of course, in 2020, what you have is what it is now. Just to let Rotarians understand what the scale of achievement is. And I tell people, will polio be eradicated in the world? I will repeat it to you now, my dear friends. Like I told the Africans, I said, it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Will we deliver on our promise to the children of the world? We will. We will eradicate polio. Pakistan and Afghanistan that is left, we shall fix it. And that will be the opportunity for those of you listening to me today who have not been part of this effort to be able to join and do something. Let me share with you the Nigerian data because, like I said, Nigeria was the main country, was the country holding Africa back. Just look at the chart yourself. And you see, to be certified polio-free, you need to have no wide polio case for at least 3 years to be taken off the endemic list. And you can see how it came down from high numbers in 2006 to where we got to in 2014. In fact, for 2 years in 2015-16, I think we actually recorded 0. And then we found some cases from the insurgent afflicted areas, which we couldn't see. But all that we fixed. So, on the 18th of June, 2020, WHO declares Nigeria as polio-free. But then to declare the Africa region polio-free, they needed to go back and check all the other countries if things were still in place. And I'm just showing this. I don't know if this is clear enough, but just to give you what the situation is worldwide. You know, we've had 0. We've been tracking Nigeria, Pakistan, and Afghanistan before. In fact, somebody had a comment, I think, just before India was certified polio-free, they used to call us the pain countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, and Nigeria, and we were the ones giving pain to the rest of the world. And then India left. So it was what? Was it not a nap country going to sleep? No. So Nigeria is out, Africa is out. So Afghanistan and Pakistan, we shall fix. What were the things we did to get there? Typically for Rotary in the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, in that coalition, World Coalition of Public Health as it were, which involved the World Health Organization, the governments of the world, UNICEF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and recently Gavi, which is the vaccine initiative. The Rotary's role in it were clear. Basically advocacy because of our network and our presence all over the world, creating awareness, community mobilization, fundraising, and field activities. And I will just show you a few pictures, a few photographs. You see, Rotarians are very influential people, and our partners know that. There are many places people can't reach Rotarians. And this was an age of President Barrow Racine, with Rotary leadership in Nigeria, visiting President Buhari of Nigeria to sustain the political commitment to eradicating. This was even more important because Nigeria was going to go to an election. And usually at election times, politicians forget every other thing. I wanted to make sure that the eye was not taken off board for polio eradication. And this worked. It didn't do that. So that's why we are where we are today. I talked about funding. From your contributions to the Polio Fund, we fund the activities of UNICEF and WHO. Scenarios where we're presenting a check to UNICEF, and there was a Nigerian Minister of Health and the UNICEF country chair as it were. So we fund the activities of these people for polio eradication. And of course, it's advocacy also. Apart from the leadership advocacy, there's also media advocacy to create awareness, to make sure that the mass media, as it were, on our side. Because a lot of times what people listen to on the news matters a lot. And there were so many of these that we did. There was a lot of awareness creation. In fact, all sorts of innovation that people had, you know. In fact, I couldn't get some of the very exciting images because we engaged everybody, including the animals. You know, there were times when cows were dressed in polio, and as they are headed around, people see the cows in villages, you know, with the polio on it, just to get the message down to everybody. What are some of the challenges that were encountered as we were doing all of that? Of course, there were the anti-vaccine groups. You know them. You see them in your part of the world now also. There was low routine immunization coverage. There was also the vaccine-derived polio, the insurgency, of course, the funding, and the COVID-19. And I think To address some of these things, Rotarians got into everywhere, every cranny, using all forms of transportation. Because for polio to be eradicated, every child must be reached, whether it is by boat, whether it is by road in the desert, or by a camel, or even by a cow track. That was me in one of the rural areas, just to make sure we get to the village and see what is happening and make sure children are immunized. And when I look back to these images and I see the results we have achieved, I feel very proud that I invested that time and effort. So currently, funding is being adversely affected by the CVPD outbreak. That's the vaccine, what we call the vaccine-derived outbreak. And I don't want to go into the details of vaccine-derived. If you visit endpolio.org, you will find a lot of the details on vaccine-derived from it. So that a lot of times when you hear somebody say, Africa is certified polio-free, but there's a polio outbreak in Sudan. How come? Those are vaccine-derived outbreaks, and we have it in control. They are not white polio, but it's a long time it's a separate discussion to talk about how those happens. And nothing to do with the vaccines themselves. In case anybody says it's the vaccines that are bad, absolutely nothing. Please go to endpolio.org and you'll find the details. The details there. Many of you will wonder, okay, so polio is eradicated in Africa, so what do we still need money for? In fact, Rotarians in Africa have started asking, why are you asking us to contribute to the polio fund? We don't have polio anymore. But you see, you actually need the money even now. Because even the children that were born the day after Africa was certified polio-free, those children need to be immunized. So we still need to keep immunizing the children against polio, and that costs money. We need to do the surveillance, continue to make sure to look out for evidences of acute flaccid paralysis to see whether it is polio or not. Those things cost money. The surveillance costs money, the immunization costs money, the campaigns cost money. So the only time the spending will come to an end is when the whole world is free. We know that the only place we can find polio will be in the history books or in the laboratory somewhere in storage. Then we can stop all the immunization, and all this funding will then become available for other purposes. I'll just leave this for a while so you have an idea of what this fundings, how it is being used by activity. And GPEI is the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, as it were, which is the conglomerate that I talked to you, I mentioned earlier. On campaigns, community-based vaccination programs, surveillance, outbreak response, and things like that. You know, every dollar that you give to polio is matched by $2 by Mr. Bill Gates. So your dollar works 3 times harder. And I think it is important to know that we expect all clubs to play their part in this. Yes, Africa is free. We still have Afghanistan and Pakistan to deal with, and we still need to continue with the surveillance in Africa. So this then is the general question to everybody listening to me. Have you participated in this effort? I'm sure you know that it's not donations from African Rotarians that eradicated polio in Africa. Donations from Rotarians from around the world. And Africans will continue to donate also to make sure we finish the job in Pakistan and Afghanistan. The question then is, if 20 years from now, 25 years from now, I'm sure polio will be long gone, a grandchild or a great-grandchild were to call you, hi mama, or hey grandma, grandpa, great-grandpa, whatever it is we are at that time. I say, I just read on the internet or whatever it is they have there. Maybe it's not internet, they may have something more sophisticated. I just found out that there was this group of people who eradicated a disease called polio. They were Rotarians. Were you part of them? Were you part of that effort? What will your response be? Will your response be, oh yes, my dear, I was. I contributed money. I even went for campaigns. I went to immunization exercises. This is how we did it. I'm very proud of that. And your grandchild is looking and saying, Oh, I'm proud of my grandma. I'm proud of my grandpa. Will you answer the actually, yes, yeah, Rotarians. Yeah, some of I know people who were part of it. What will be your response? So it's not too late. We're in the last pages of the history book. Your name can still make it into that history book. COVID-19, the spoiler, because it's important to mention this. With COVID, we had to stop mass campaigns. There was a negative impact on routine immunization also because the hospitals, people were afraid, people were even staying home, they couldn't go out. So children were being born, they were not getting immunized. There was diversion of funds to take care of the pandemics. Even for us as Rotarians, some of our own funding had to go to solve the polio, the COVID issue. But then there's also the enabling part of it. Many of you may not know this. There is the polio infrastructure that has been deployed in many countries to attack the COVID, for COVID response. It's the polio resources. For the WHO, for example, because COVID required you to do contact tracing, which was what we're doing for polio. To find out there's a polio case, we need to find out who has that child interacted with, so we'll know where and where to immunize and go do a mop-up immunization. So the WHO polio staff were so good with that. They were good with the contact tracing. They were good with all the soft that are associated with it. And when COVID happened, they were deployed in the COVID because the skills from polio was what was required. I call it a test run of the polio legacy. What this whole effort will leave behind, even when it is eradicated. And there are many Rotarians who believe that when the vaccines finally become available, that Rotarians will actually be involved in helping to distribute that also, because we have an experience with community mobilization and all the rest like that. Some of the things that we did, we had billboards before that were for polio, that were for polio campaign. We had to use the same resources to do the campaign for COVID. And we wanted to make sure that particularly in the poor places where we've been going every month to ask people to take the vaccine and they've been complying. Now with COVID, they are hungry. They had no jobs. We don't want a situation where when we go back to start the immunization efforts again, the people look at us and say, oh, where were you guys when we were starting? And so we have to do a lot of things in between all of that. And you see what I mean when we say some of our funding were also diverted to COVID, what we call the food palliatives, distributing things to people so they can know that Rotary is their friend. And when this COVID is over, or when the opportunity arises, they are coming back.
They go school.
Come back for the immunization as well. We made masks to continue to make sure we can continue to reach out. And of course, I'm happy to say that the immunization exercises are resuming again this October, and we'll focus on strengthening immunization. We hope that with the certification, we can reduce the campaigns and then strengthen the routine immunization process as well. So my fellow Rotarians, yes, are we going to end polio? I think the answer is yes. It's that element of our core value that talks about integrity, that as Rotarians, as Rotary, when we promise, we deliver. It has taken us over 35 years, but the results are clear. We are achieving things nobody else has done before. And that is something we need to be proud of. So for us in Africa, our mantra now is not just end polio now. Our mantra is Africa, polio at zero. Rotarians, I think I will end here, and if there are questions, I will be willing to take. Thank you very much, Rotarian President.
Okay, President Francis, are you on?
Yes.
Please unmute your mic, okay.
Thank you. The floor is open. Please ask your questions. Are there any questions for our guest speaker?
Yes, I have a question, more like a comment. So, thank you very much for your enlightening, informative talk. Of course, there's a lot of talk now about a conspiracy theory surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine. Do you have any comment? Do you care to comment on that? I don't want to put you on the spot. I know it's a lot of implications on some big donors to the cause to eradicate polio. Their names are being called as a part of the conspiracy. Is there something you would advise us on? Well, when people talk to me about that, I just mentioned our effort to eradicate polio and say that we have to give all vaccines an opportunity to work and, cease and desist the idea of a conspiracy until there's very good reason to determine that. How would you talk to somebody who comes to you about such a conspiracy theory, sir? Thank you.
Yes, and thank you very much for that. I'm not a vaccine expert, but what I know is that vaccines work. I've seen it. I'll tell you my personal story. In the city I live, Port Harcourt, there was a home for special children, as they called it. It was being run by a Catholic mission. And this home, my Rotary Club visits it once a year, every Christmas. I will meet these children all deformed and deformed from polio, because it's tough. It's really tough to manage a child that cannot walk. So many of the parents are frustrated, so they bring these children to this place. And when we go to visit, the home is fairly full, so you find like 25, 30 children, many of them below the age of 5. And then, gradually, I noticed that the number of children were dwindling, and we started seeing different kinds of children, apart from just those just deformed. We started seeing those with maybe retardation and things like that. And at a point, we started seeing children from other parts of the country, not our part of the country anymore. You know the reason for that? We hadn't seen polio in River State, where I live, for 7 years. And so there were no children coming in again. No children coming in again. Children were coming in from other parts of the country, but after a while, they stopped coming again. So the Catholic mission had to divert or convert that facility for a different kind of use. And we're not just talking about statistics and just what scientists are saying. I'm talking about what I witnessed. Was it immunization that did that? Yes. So do vaccines work? I believe it works. It's the reason why we are where we are with polio eradication in Africa. So I believe vaccines work. And I want to believe that we have sufficient knowledge, scientific knowledge in the world for it to be impossible for anybody to just bring anything that won't work and give people. So I will give vaccines a chance, unless of course there are other options.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for our guest speaker? We'll now invite Rotarian Bob to bring the vote of thanks.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Babalola, thank you very much for your comments this morning. I very much enjoyed the presentation and your connection to the current pandemic was very interesting. It appears that there are a number of parallels in terms of advocacy and education that we can take from Rotary's efforts in respect to polio and apply them to the current COVID pandemic. We see that those parallels are not being followed in some respects, but I enjoyed the connections that you made between them. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and your thoughts on the polio eradication in Africa. And hopefully we can take best practices from the polio objectives and model that you've shown us and continue to apply them to other similar types of events like the COVID pandemic. Thank you very much, sir.
And thank you very much. And
thank you, Rotarian Bob.
And just to close it, President, is that even when Ebola struck in Africa, the countries that had polio immunization programs were the least affected. It's just the infrastructure that we have put in place. And Rotarian President, allow me to just use 2 minutes to let you know my connection with Ruben. You know, I and Ruben were Rotaractors together. We started our Rotary careers as Rotaractors, and we were in different universities, but at the same time. I've known Ruben for something like 30 years. You know, so I'm glad that he's one of those Rotaractors that have found their way into Rotary just with me, and that Elevate Rotaract means we will find more of Ruben, you know, who are past Rotaractors joining Rotary. So thank you, President, for allowing me to say this.
Oh. Ruben, that should be another $5 then. Should be another $5, Ruben.
Interesting.
I hope you will give me a discount. There should be a discount for Ruben.
Ruben has always told us he's only third time.
Order in the house. And now we'll have the raffle, Secretary Donnet.
Okay, thank you, President Francis. Only 6 people have bought raffle tickets. I just want to make sure that that is it, your last call for the raffle. And if that's it, then we will move right along. Let me share my screen. All right, and so those are the 6 people who have bought raffle tickets, 2 bottles of wine. And if you're feeling lucky today, you may just be very lucky. So let's go first.
Yeah, I'll get $10 ticket, add mine.
Okay.
If you promise me I will win.
You really want to get fined.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Ruben, you better stop while you're ahead. Don't let your mentor see how you are misbehaving.
All right.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay.
So good luck, everyone. I haven't done it yet. Who's feeling lucky? And the winner is me.
Yay!
Normally I would give it away. Normally I would give it away, but Christmas is coming and I may have to entertain Santa.
Wait, they're gonna still be around for Christmas? Your friends around the corner, you know.
Yeah, we'll have a Rotary party if COVID allows.
Dino, you're begging. And I didn't charge you today.
Of wine will be at my office.
Okay. All right. If COVID allows,
you will collect.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
President, just quickly, I just wanted to welcome a few Rotarians who joined us late.
Yes, go ahead.
We have visiting from Lagos, the Rotary Club of Ikoyi. I hope I got that right. Rotarian Ken Unuzi.
Umuzi.
Welcome,
Umuzi.
Okay, welcome, Rotarian Ken. That's the easier one. And we also have visiting Rotary Club of Eleuthera, PP Jacqueline Gibson. Welcome to the meeting. And of course, our Rotaractor, President Latoya. Welcome.
Welcome, President Latoya.
Back to you, President Francis.
Thank you, Secretary Donnet. And now we will have the 4-way test by Rotarian Lavelle.
Good morning, all. Of the things
Good
that we
morning.
think, of the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it
Is it
fair
fair
to
to
all
all
concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Will it build goodwill and friendship?
Better friendship.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it
Will
be
it be
beneficial
beneficial
to
to
all
all
concerned?
concerned?
Thank you. Rotarian Babel, the final toast. Rotarian CPS.
Just before that, Lavelle, put in your $10 fine, please. You and I talked about that offline on your side. Click Crossville.
All right, Father.
The final toast. By
The Rotary
Rotarian
around the world.
Rotary around the world. Thank you all for coming and have a great and safe, a blessed and safe day. Stay
Thank you.
Same
safe.
to you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Had fun. And
Everyone
thank
be
you,
safe during the lockdown now.
Babalola.
Yes. Thank you for a good presentation.
You're
Thank you all
welcome.
for coming. If you need
Please
a
come
Rotary,
again.
a visitor slip, please drop me an email so I can send that to your club's secretary. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you again soon.
Bye. Keep well. Keep
Bye.
well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Proud of you. Thank you.
Nice to have you as usual.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.